If your home's on Rightmove and nobody is clicking, you have got a problem. Rightmove is where millions of buyers are going to start their home search before even jumping onto estate agents. So you need to make sure you're standing out and not getting buried. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, what you need to ask your estate agent to do, and what things you can look out for so your home doesn't turn invisible. Hello there, my name is Chris and I have been an estate agent for over 20 years now, and I'm here to give you tips and tricks on how to get your home sold, what you should be asking your estate agent, and what is going on in today's property market. So if that's the kind of content you like, please make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and if you've got any questions at all, please do comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So let's get into the video. So first off, we're going to go through on how Rightmove actually works. And this is quite crucial for you to understand. Now, as a homeowner, you cannot list your property on Rightmove yourself. You do have to go through an estate agent. And it's really important that you do get this right first time. Then when you are on Rightmove, people find you by filtering down what area and what price they are looking for. And they can even filter it even further with how many bedrooms that buyer is after, what kind of property they would like, and crucially, by newest listing, which is really important. So when your property is first listed on Rightmove, it gets a boost within the first 2 weeks of marketing. So it's extremely important that your estate agent and yourself get this right, because that's when you're going to have the most eyes looking at your home. If the property stays on the market for weeks and weeks and weeks, buyers are going to start thinking, what is wrong with it? So why do homes get buried on Rightmove? Well, it can only be one of three reasons. And the first one is photos. You've got to get the photos right. And especially your first photo, that has really got to pop and stop the scroll when someone's looking for a property. Now, you've got to think nowadays, a lot of people are using their mobile phones rather than a laptop or a PC to search for property. And if you look at the Rightmove app, or if you look at the Rightmove webpage, you'll see that the first photo is usually the front of the property or something that really stands out in the home. You have to encourage people to click on that to see the rest of the photos. Now, number two is the description. Now, gone are the days of descriptions talking about how many plug sockets you've got in your property and how many windows you've got in each room. You've really got to be selling the lifestyle of why someone should be buying your property and why they should move there. And in the world of AI, where things are getting a lot more intricate, if your property has an annex, it needs to be talking about that annex, because people are now searching keywords when they are looking for homes for themselves. Number three is price. Price is very important and you've got to get it right from the start. Now, treat price as a marketing price rather than a price that you want to achieve. There are many good agents that are achieving over 100% of the marketing price they are putting on Rightmove. And this is creating demand on your home and driving viewers through your front door. So price is a very big one that you should really stick with. What you need to do when your property is on the market is check your own listing on Rightmove. And I don't mean by going to your property directly and just having a look. See what it's comparing against and what else is out there. So a really good tip on this is when you go to the search bar to Rightmove, put in your postcode and put in a 1/4 mile radius and see what homes come up, and see if your home's buried or if it is standing out. So compare your photos with other properties that are out there. Do they really look their best? Check the pricing. Is there another property similar to yours? Are you competitive with that property that's similar to yours? And will people click on your property to come through the front door? Take time and read over your description too. Is it really selling the lifestyle, or is there something else in there that you can add that made you buy that property when you first purchased it? And is it going to appeal to other buyers that are out there? And the next thing you need to be doing is checking the views and how many people have been clicking on your advert and how many people have been saving your property. And this is something you can ask your estate agent. They can get into the back end of Rightmove and see what activity your property has had. Because if it is really low, it is something that you can change in the next coming weeks. So how can you fix a stale listing? Well, we've been through it already and spoke about how your property stands out. And going back to photos, you really do need the photos to be looking very, very smart. So look at the presentation of your home. Does your photos look cluttered? Are there even photos on there that don't really need to be on there? Because we want to get intrigue in your property. We want people to come inside and have a look. And if you've got a photo of every single room and every single space in your home, they have no need to come and view it. They've already seen it online. Now, Rightmove says a good amount of photos to have is anything between 12 and 15 photos. So if you've got more than that, think about really cutting it down. And that's even if you've got a property with 10 bedrooms. You really need to be narrowing it down and create intrigue on your home. So get rid of those hallway photos. Get rid of the downstairs toilet. I mean, once you've seen one toilet, you've seen them all, and show off the important aspects of your home. The next one is the descriptions, which we've already spoke about, making sure those descriptions pop. And with the use of AI now, we can really make them sound and have calls to action for any buyers that are looking. Buyers do read descriptions, but they get bored if they're just reading the dimensions of the property and then talking about how many plug sockets and windows that room actually has. Your floor plan is there for the dimensions, so make sure your description is catchy. Price. It's really important that you are on price points, and if you don't know what those are, speak to your current estate agent about being on for the right price point. When you look at Rightmove, for example, most properties and most increments on the pricing go up by tens and thousands of pounds. Once you hit 300,000, those increments go up by £25,000 at a time, and then they increase again to £50,000 at a time, and they just keep increasing depending on your home's value. So it's really important to be on one of these pricing points to make sure more people are looking at your property and it's not being buried on page 10. So here's a few bonus tips as well with regards to putting your property online. It's not just Rightmove that's out there. A good estate agent will use other methods as well. So we've got Zoopla and we've got onthemarket.com too. So check and see on how they look on all their websites. Where I operate here, we do have a good spread of buyers looking on Rightmove, Zoopla and on the market. So don't just look at the one website. Check all three of them to make sure that your listing is popping. And there's lots more we can do and talk about in terms of Rightmove, in terms of making sure you've got a floor plan, making sure you've got a video tour, but also seeing what the estate agent is doing socially as well and how they're pushing out your property. The more eyes on your home, the more viewings, which is going to lead to more offers. So if your home's live on Rightmove or you're about to go live on Rightmove, make sure you know what's going on behind the scenes and what you can do to make your home stand out. Don't just hope for the best and don't just rely on your estate agent. Be the seller who checks, tweaks and stands above all the other competition that's out there. So if you've got a property that's stuck on Rightmove or it just seems to be buried, feel free to drop a comment below and I can check out and see why your property may or may not be moving. And I'll be more than happy to take a look and give you my opinion. And like I mentioned before, give this video a thumbs up and make sure you follow for all future videos. Here's to selling your home and here's to the next video.